We have a few questions for you, and I'm gonna start with the first one, which is, especially when we are considering branding, rock bands are great examples. For example, think about Led Zeppelin's black cover when they protesting media, or the name and brand of Metallica, or Deathheads of Grateful Dead, or diehard fans of Slayer or AC/DC. What would be the key lessons from rock bands for brands to apply?
You know, I've never really thought about that. I mean, I've had some experience with my own rock band. I started a band that became very, very popular in China. I started it in 1989, and by 1992 we had sold several million records.
Wow.
And I rejoined. I left the band for a while and rejoined from 96 to 99. I think that it was an unconscious branding exercise, but it was probably one of the more successful ones that I've done. It was the name of the band, the image of the band, the style of the music. It all had to be sort of consistent. And it had, in this case, the challenge, the actual difficulty was to introduce a style of music that was decidedly non-Chinese. It was very, very alien to the Chinese audiences of the late 1980s. And the early
What
90s.
was the type? Metal?
It's metal. It was a metal band. I mean, a very, very foreign idiom, and to make it believably Chinese, a lot of it had to do with the name of the band. It was called Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty was sort of contemporary with the early caliphate in here at least in Arabia, from 618 to 907. And it was an era.
Go ahead.
There was an era in China where the ethos was very cosmopolitan, where they absorbed a lot of influences from all over the world. From people from Persia, people from far-flung corners of Western Asia and from East Asia, and it was somehow believably Chinese. They never lost confidence in their and in fact, the cosmopolitan nature of that dynasty contributed to its greatness. So that was part of the cipher. The other was sort of the look of the band. I mean, we had to touch very much like if you look at metal bands around the world, they have touchstones in medieval fantasy, in Tolkien or in the Viking sagas or whatever.
Black Guardian is one of them.
Exactly, Black Guardian is Blind Guardian is a very good example. And for us, it was the martial arts epics and the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, things like that.
So it's like connecting the brand with some concepts,
some subconscious content.
Perfect. I know you have kids, and how would you describe your kids? Big data, artificial intelligence, or O2O? How would you describe them in a very simple way?
Yeah, so I think my older is a daughter, and she would be the big data person. She's sort of a fact head. She really likes to know an awful lot about the world, and is very proud of it. My younger son is an avid gamer, and he's maybe the artificial intelligence
guy.
He's kind of so robotically good at Call of Duty that I won't even play with him anymore because he kills me so bad. He's only 9.
That's good to know. When considering with social media and the trend on programmatic and all the smart tech, what do you think the position of the search engine marketing? We know that you're working by it, so how do you position it? Yeah, so search engine marketing is absolutely indispensable. It doesn't matter if you're a big brand or a small brand, especially in a country where brand building is still happening. I think that's as true for Turkey as it is for China. So search engine marketing is absolutely indispensable. I mean, not just as a way to actually drive leads, but now with O2O is a way to actually close the loop all the way to the sales, or like data collecting.
Right.
Okay. So after spending years on international brands like Ogilvy and Baidu, what would be your suggestion for the marketing leaders who wants to internationalize their brands?
Well, I don't think that I'm in a good position to say. I mean, because I don't think any Chinese internet company has really truly internationalized its brands. So I think that we are also looking around the world and trying to learn. I think very much as Turkey is, we're facing many of the same challenges. Well, we've built very strong brands within our own home markets. We haven't had success internationally.
Okay, I see. So my last 2 questions. One of them is like, what is the last book that you give as a present, or what is the most frequent one?
Well, right now, there's no question. It would be the 2 volumes by Francis Fukuyama called Political Order and Political Decay. That's actually the second one. The first is The Origins of Political Order, and the second is political order and political decay. I think that those two are.
Why do you presume?
I think that better than anyone has ever to date, a truly grand, sweeping, historical, comparative study of the origins of political institutions, of the origins of institutions of constraint like democracy, the institution or rule of law. I think that's the really salient one.
Yeah.
But also, he looks at the origins of strong states, and I mean, I think he talks quite a bit about. Both about the Ottoman Empire and about China. I think
I should take that
very
as well.
instructive, for anyone who's interested in history and the way things are as they are in the world today.
Yeah. Okay, my last question. What if we hire the largest billboard in the most frequent city of Istanbul? What would be your message on it?
Oh my gosh.
Think about it. Take your time.
No, I think I would. I think I would be too lacking in humility to even suggest anything here because I don't know this market well enough. I don't know how the right things to say. I don't know what needs to be said.
Well, let's put it in China.
Yeah, put it in China, and I think it would just be a gigantic Baidu look. No, it would be put it in China, and I still I think. I don't think that it would be a commercial billboard. I think that it would probably be some sort of. I think it would have to do with environmentalism. I mean, because I think the most pressing problems of the day in China right now. I mean, I'm here in Istanbul and I'm missing the first ever red alert smog emergency in China. We're fortunate for that, but. I have to fly back tonight to Beijing, and I'm not looking forward to that.
You like Turkish diet? I heard you.
I do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How people can find you online? Where they can follow you?
I think one good place. Well, Facebook is somewhere I post very frequently. I'm on Twitter as well, and on Quora. I think probably the most interesting place to find me is on Quora. I also host a weekly podcast called Sinica. It's at if you just Google for Sinica podcast. It's in English. It's quite accessible. It's
Sinica is the author Sinica or something else?
Sinica. Sinica.
Okay.
Sinica is it means things Chinese. It's a show about current affairs in China, and it's
okay. Wow, that's good to know. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.